Okay, I'm going to try to solve a few problems from LeetCode using C++, and I haven't seen any of these problems before, and I will narrate my thought process, and let's see how quickly I can solve these. So the first question: given an array of integers, return indices of the two numbers such that they add up to a specific target. Each input has exactly one solution, and we're using zero-based indices. And so one way of doing this would be to put all the values in a set and use their indices as basically store all of these values as pairs in a set. Create a new vector with all the values, comma, indices as pairs, and you can sort that, and you can do a binary search on that new vector to find your solution. If it's sorted, you could just run through it twice to get the indices. Okay, I think I'm going to code that up for now. So let's first make a new vector that will store the values, comma, indices as pairs, and iterate through the original vector. And insert into that vector the value, comma, the indices, comma, the index, and now we can iterate through this vector and see which two indices for each index we can check. If there's an answer possible. So the number we have to find is going to be target minus new nums of I, and we're going to look between I plus 1 and new underscore nums dot size minus 1. So while L less than equal to H, int mid equal to L plus H minus L by 2. It's just a basic binary search, and we check if new nums of mid dot first is equal to equal to 2 underscore find, then we can just return. Let's create a new vector answer, and we can push I in answer and new underscore nums. This should be dot first. New underscore nums of mid dot second. Else, if that value was too high, then we want to search in the lower half, so we set h equal to mid minus 1, otherwise we set l equal to mid plus 1 because we want to search in the upper half. And if we have an answer by then, there exists an answer, otherwise there doesn't exist an answer, but they say that we'll have exactly one solution, so we can return blank vector int. And let's just go through this and see if we're missing anything. It looks okay to me. That's an odd error. I'm going to try again. Okay, there's a compiler on line 26. Expected unqualified ID. I guess my brackets may not be right. I think I have an extra bracket. Yep. And let's check again. Okay. Okay, I've made a mistake and I have to figure out what that is. Okay. Oh, I should be returning once. Is that it? Yeah, I think that should be it. Okay, looks like it works for this test case. I'm probably going to test it again with what I hope is a different test case. This is my first time running on LeetCode, so I'm not sure whether it's going to be different. It clearly isn't. So I'm just going to submit it. And that didn't work. So oh, I forgot to sort it. So let me just sort the array. And I'm just going to submit it again. What? Okay. Okay, clearly it shouldn't be I. It should be new underscore nums of I dot second. Two stupid mistakes. Okay, that's been accepted. And I'm gonna leave this problem for now. Not gonna read the solution. Going to try the next one. Add two numbers. You are given two linked lists representing two non-negative numbers. The digits are stored in reverse order, and each of their nodes contain a single digit. Add the two numbers and return it as a linked list. Okay, great. Not really sure how to work with pointers, but let's see what I can remember. So let's create a pointer to list node called answer, which we will return at the end. And it doesn't say whether the linked lists have the same size or not, so we'll assume they don't. While L1 and L2, so if they're equal to null, that should exit the loop. And then we can just go through while L1 and separately through L2. Okay, I'm going to create another list node to iterate through the list. Okay. In the beginning, again, ans is equal to null, and create a new list node malloc size of list node. I guess you could also write ans equal to new list node, but I'll check that later. So if ans equal to null, let's initialize ans and it, and now it dot val or star it dot val equal to star l1 dot val plus star l2 dot val. L1 equal to L1 next, and the same for L2, and it next should be equal to null. So yeah, else I'm going to say it next equal to list node star malloc size of list node, basically creating a node for all the other digits, and set it equal to it next. And this won't necessarily work, so I'll have a sum and a carry. This should be the sum, and I'll declare the carry here. Carry equal to by 10, and sum should be the 2 digits mod 10. So if you have 5 and 8, the sum will be 3 and the carry will be 1. And the carry will be added on the next turn. So here it.val will be equal to sum plus carry, whatever the previous carry was. And now repeat the same thing here. So I'm going to assume they both aren't, one of them, both of them has at least 1 digit. Hopefully that's a reasonable assumption to make. So that means IT would have been initialized by the time it reaches here. And while L1 IT is equal to, and I just need to set the value. Five, 4. Five plus 4 would give me 9 as the sum, and if the carry was 1, then I'd get 10, so this doesn't make sense. It should be plus carry, and I only have sum there, and I'd have plus carry here as well. Okay, and just copy this entire thing. Probably better to have that refactored into a function, but since it's just for LeetCode, I'm going to leave it as is and remove the references to L2 here. Oops. And the references to L1 here. And if there's a carry remaining, I need to create a new node for that. And hopefully that should work. I'm expecting a seg fault or something of that kind. Okay. So that didn't work. It shouldn't be star it.val. I'm guessing it should just be it.val. That means L1 val and L2 val. I hope I got everything. Okay. Clearly not. So maybe I need not equal to null here. No, that wasn't it. Hmm. Okay, I'm going to check if the first part runs. Okay, it gives me a runtime error now. Is that an empty array? To empty linked lists? No. So, okay, if ads equal to null, I'm going to initialize a node and have IT point to that. Maybe it's because of the variable name. No. I'm just going to try and comment out all of this as well. Oh, that's definitely going to cause a time limit exceeded or memory limit exceeded. Maybe I should just initialize this to null. Oh, I forgot new. No. Okay, that's right. I'm just gonna do this using new, but I'll first try to see if this works. I'm going to use the custom test case from up there. 243-564. 243 and 564. I hope that's the format for specifying linked lists. 708. Okay, so that works. I'm going to fix this though. I'm going to say first change this VS mod 10, and then carry is just S by 10, and instead of this I'm going to have IT equal new list node S mod 10. I don't need this. If IT not if IT equal to IT next. No, wait. If IT, then ID of next equals that, else IT equals new list node S mod 10. And IT equal to IT next. And I don't need all this. Just an if not ans equal to IT. And make the same changes here. Just going to replace this with this and replace L1 with L2. And change this as well to new list node carry. And I'm going to check if this works. Okay, that works, so I'm just going to make it nicer. New was introduced in C++, and let's see if this works. Hopefully it will. Okay, it didn't run on our first test case. I hope it's that. No. Not sure what test case it ran on. Okay, looks like it works now. Okay, accept it. I'm not going to look at the solution again. We'll move on to the next one. Given a string, find the length of the longest substring without repeating characters. For example, the longest substring without repeating letters for ABC, ABC, BB is ABC. Okay, this doesn't seem too tough. What do I have to return though? I just have to return the length. Okay. So I'm gonna have an array count. Just gonna use 300 just to be safe. Initialize everything to 0 and then go through the string. S Okay, let me think about how you would solve this. So you need two pointers. Let the first pointer be at the leftmost character. The rightmost starts from the character after the leftmost character. Or it starts at the leftmost character. Now you increment the rightmost character. If it hits upon a letter that's already been encountered, you move the leftmost character forward until that character hasn't been seen. And you just repeat this. So you could actually use a boolean for this. Let's save on some space. And let's initialize both the characters that we need. I guess r less than s dot size s dot size should suffice because r is always going to be greater than or equal to l. And now you do if s of r then if basically if you have, let's change this variable's name to scene, this array's name to scene. So if you've seen S of R, wait, um, you set scene of S of L to false, and you increment L. If you haven't seen S of R, you set scene of S of R to true, you increment R, and you set answer equal to max of answer, or R minus L plus 1. And let's initialize ans, and finally return ans. And is that it? Let's run through this test case. So L and R will start at A. Scene S of R is false, so we mark it as true. Move it ahead. And ans is set to 1 right now. Is it seen? No. Set it to true. Move it ahead. Okay. Is it seen? No. Set it to true. Move it ahead, and it goes to A. A is now seen. So we set scene of S of L to false, which is S of A becomes false, and then you increment that. Yeah, I think this should work. So I'm going to hit run code. It's a little annoying that they don't give the test cases given in the statement as the sample test cases for the tests. ABC, A, B, C, B, B. Okay, and the answer should be 3. Okay, that works. And for a string of only B's, the answer should be 1. And that looks like that works. So let's submit it. And that passed. I think I might be done for the day. Well, the next one's a hard one. But yeah,